Hello everyone, it's Merlin here, and today we'll be doing something very special. This is where I list and briefly discuss my top 20 favorite anime series of all time. Now, I've seen many series over the years, and I'm sure that this list could change in the future, though it has remained relatively stable for a while, surprisingly. These shows may vary in length, genre, popularity, and debatably, quality. However, each of these series is one I really enjoy or impacted me enough that I would gladly watch them again and again. Now, since there are many series out there that I wanted to put on this list but didn't quite make the cut, I want to start out with some brief honorable mentions. First, there is Golgo 13. This series follows an expert assassin with an unchanging expression. It's very episodic as we see the various missions Duke Togo goes on, and how he gets himself out of very ridiculous situations. That's what's awesome about the show. However, since I prefer longer story arcs, this one could not make the list since the story really has nowhere to go. Still, I recommend it. I also have to recommend the several Astro Boy and Blackjack series, since they are indicative of the great writing and highly influential style of Osamu Tezuka. I also must mention Elfen Lied, which was actually on my top 20 not too long ago, for its incredible animation and interesting characters. It got knocked off though by a couple additions, plus its ending is kind of questionable despite the thematic depths that it does explore. I also must mention Princess Tutu for being a really good story. Check it out. Also watch Sailor Moon, if you haven't for some reason. It's a great series that was also my top 20 not too long ago. I was also very close to putting Inuyasha on this list. Yes, I know it has its problems, but it's a classic and was one of my first forays into anime. My final mentions, the last ones I promise. These are series that I love, but honestly have manga that are just as good, if not better. They are One Piece, Monster, Trigun, and Rurouni Kenshin. I really wanted to put these on my top 20, but decided that I actually enjoyed reading the manga just as much, if not more. Either way, they're all classics, and I advise any anime fan to check them out if you haven't already. Oh, and Attack on Titan is amazing. Alright, I've kept you waiting long enough. Let's dive into my top 20 favorite anime series. Number 20. Technoman, aka Tekkaman Blade. I'm starting off with a show I'm pretty sure most people have never heard of. Now, there is a reason why. This show, well, it's kind of bad. It's a guilty pleasure, but I honestly really do enjoy it. There is a more significant reason, though. This show was on in the mid-90s, when I was about 6 years old and saw this show for the first time and loved it. It was a classic case of early distribution with really dark and disturbing story marketed for kids. You know, the way most anime was distributed in the early days. So, this is the first anime series that I ever really watched. Almost a decade before I ever even heard of the concept of anime. It takes place in the future as mankind is fighting a war against invading aliens, led by guys who can transform into robot warriors. A mysterious hero who can also turn into a mecha guy, Technoman, fights for the side of Earth. In truth, though the story is a bit cliche, it isn't really bad, exploring some deep themes in a kind of cheesy way. The worst part is the horrible English dub, and the fact that there are character names like Darkon, he's the bad guy, get it? Dark like evil. And one guy named Balzac. Balzac. Yep, that's his name. Don't know if I can really recommend this one, but it is fun for its campiness and actually very important to me. Number 19 is Vampire Princess Miyu. This is another one that is a bit older and obscure, but one of the first series that I really got into. It is a fairly basic premise in an anime, this one being a magical girl/horror anime, where a vampire princess, obviously, defends humanity from these demons called Shinma, which are very similar to the Hollows from Bleach. They attach themselves to humans who have given into depression, greed, and hatred, and use these negative aspects to feed on human misery and increase their strength, basically granting their hosts' darkest desires in exchange for their soul. Then they go around and murder people. This series is very bleak, kind of like Hell Girl, which is one reason it's so low on the list. Still, it's one of the more original magical girl series I've ever seen. Recommend it to fans of the magical girl genre, and horror anime in general, especially if you like vampires. Number 18. Neon Genesis Evangelion. Ah yes, now believe it or not, of all the considerations for top 20, this one is the one I debated the most. I've always kind of wanted to hate this series for being overrated, pretentious, and its annoying main character. However, I really do like it. Not as much as others obviously, but the influence of the series is very understandable. It has some of the most unique aliens and mecha, really complex human characters, and tackles very difficult themes. I will admit that it does go off the rails and does some really trippy symbolism towards the end, but I love that stuff. While I can understand that people are driven away from the series by Shinji, I never really found him that annoying. If you're 14 and most people hate you, and you have to fight off the most horrible stuff ever on a weekly basis, stuff that's practically Lovecraftian, yeah, you're allowed to be upset. He is only 14 after all. Love it or hate it, I've always enjoyed this one for its visuals and big ideas. Number 17. Samurai Champloo. I feel like I've gotten the most flack for this one. Yes, it's not Cowboy Bebop, but it's not supposed to be. This series is fun, but has an equal amount of dramatic moments. Plus, the samurai storyline with the hip-hop spin really works for me. However, the reason this one makes my top 20 is because it has my favorite trio of characters. Mugen, Fu, and Jin are a perfect balance. You have the tough rogue samurai, the traditional honorable one, and a silly but interesting young lady to keep them from murdering each other. Though I think the main storyline is the weakest part of the series, I could watch these three go on random adventures for many more episodes. One of my first major introductions of anime, and it certainly has its place. Number 16. Revolutionary Girl Utena. This is one of the trippier series on the list. Since I tend to enjoy more surreal experiences, I had to include Utena. This show is weird, but really broke many boundaries and is easily my favorite magical girl-related series. It takes place in a high school, the setting for about 90% of all anime it seems, where a secret organization, made up of the school council, obviously, plan to control the world by summoning an ancient power. The only way they can do this is by controlling the Rose Bride, Anthe, by constantly dueling. However, one student, Utena, wants to protect her from these guys and is in constant conflict with them. Utena is one of my favorite female characters. She's strong and sensitive and does more for her friend and possible lover than most protagonists in anime do. I won't spoil anything, but this one is a classic. It is filled with imagery that the creators have admitted doesn't really signify much, but the main story is still epic and the friendship is truly fantastic. Number 15, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This series is so great. It is really just an extension of classics like Fist of the North Star. I love the fact that the story follows the family through generations. It also has some of the coolest anime powers. The stands are essentially spirit avatars that the heroes and some villains can control. They have some of the coolest designs and a wide variety of powers. I was primarily thinking of the OVA collection from the 90s following Stardust Crusaders, but since it's bordering on being a miniseries, I must also recommend the newest show, which does cover the earlier arcs. It's a bit fast-paced, but the animation is beautiful and the scope of the story is truly unique. Number 14, Digimon. Specifically Seasons 1 and 2. This is one of those series that is deeply rooted in nostalgia, but still really holds up for me. The Digidestined are actually unique and believable protagonists, and most of the Digimon are as well. The show focuses on some simple but important ideas like friendship, honor, and responsibility that are very important to kids. It does get a little repetitive at times and can be corny and heavy-handed, but the world is interesting and the story is actually good. It has some complex characterizations and some good twists. One of my favorite childhood series, and it's still a welcome addition. Number 13, Blue Gender. This is one of my favorite mecha series and probably one of the more divisive on the list. I've met a few people that really don't like this one. I admit it's bleak, but that's the only major negative. It has a slow start, but I really like the growth of the main character. He wakes up from a cryogenic freeze to find the world overrun by giant insects. These are some of the scariest monsters I've ever seen. What's worse, his blood may hold the cure to defeat them. His journey to escape Earth allows him to bond with Marlene, another great female character, who has been emotionally conditioned to not care about the humans left on Earth. The show has some raw action and explores some very dark ideas. With the exception of the ending, which is really random and out there, I think it is a well-executed series, especially in terms of plot and character development. Number 12, The Vision of Escaflowne. My favorite mecha is actually more of a fantasy than a sci-fi, as a young girl is transported, Fushigi Yugi anyone, to another world. The young girl is Hitomi, who apparently has prophetic visions that she decides to use to help a prince named Vaughn to save his kingdom from an evil empire, along with an epic suit of armor named Escaflowne, which comes complete with a dragon form. This story I love for the unique blend of fantasy and science fiction, which isn't really that common in anime. I think the romance is well paced, and I love the villains like Delandau, a crazy henchman, and the main bad guy, whose backstory is the most randomly awesome backstory ever. This is a classic series that doesn't get as much love as it should. Still, for me, it remains one of the greats. Number 11. This one may actually surprise some people. Cowboy Bebop. I know it's a classic and an influential show, but I've always expressed my love for the sister series Samurai Champloo. However, I cannot deny how truly good this show is. I normally don't like episodic series, but this is one of the few exceptions. Though I would argue the main story, as brief as it is the show's greatest attribute, I wish they would have expanded on it more. Though not every episode works for me, most of them do. And those that do, really do. Few shows can balance quirky comedy with intense drama as much as this one. Also, it's a sci-fi western, and I have to believe it influenced Firefly a bit. This eclectic group of bounty hunters is one of the best groups of characters in anime. Spike himself is an icon. The jazz soundtrack is great, the animation is great, and the episodes are mostly just about perfect. Alright, into the top 10. My number 10, Hunter x Hunter. This is actually one of the newer entries on my list. I discovered this show not too long ago. This is one of the truly great shonen adventure series. I really love all the main characters, especially Kurapika. I love the expansive world and the backstories. I love the unique powers of Nen, which is basically every ki/energy-based power in shonen, which has a wide selection of abilities, but is actually explained in detail. As usual for Togashi's work, the characters are very complex for shonen ones, and explore many complex ideas within the story. It also has some of the most fascinating villains, from the Phantom Group to the Chimera Ants to the mysterious creep Hisoka. Interestingly, I actually prefer the original anime for its pacing, tone, and music. Still, the new one is really good, especially once you get to the Chimera Ant arc. The only issues with this one are the massive gaps in the manga makes fans wait forever, and the characters don't really have the necessary balance and time for all the arcs. Still, the best moments in the series really stand out to me among the best of shonen. Number 9, Paranoia Agent. This one is a trippy, disturbing show. However, I think is one of the best written. It deals with truly human ideas and some fantastic animation. It takes place in Tokyo and follows a mysterious being called Little Slugger who seems to attack random people. The main plot is really loose, but the episodes explore concepts regarding Japanese culture and the effect of media and consumerism on Japanese identity, among other things. It may require multiple viewings, but no other anime has caused me to think as much. Also one of my first forays into anime along with Samurai Champloo. Very surreal, very dark, but always interesting. Highly recommend it. Number 8, Speedgrapher. Speaking of disturbing commentaries, this is probably one of the best written series I've watched. Following a damaged photographer who stumbles upon a secret club of evil socialites and rescuing a young girl who seems to be able to grant them their most disturbing desires. The rest of the show follows him and the girl as they are on the run and seek to expose the secrets of the club. Oh, and various members turn into mutant freaks based on their dark desires. I will admit this one is lacking a bit in terms of animation and has some serious pacing issues in the middle. Seriously, they kidnap her like twice. But once you get past this, it has some gritty commentary on classism to the extreme. It also has one of the best villains ever, Swatengu, who really makes the series. His backstory is so great, and his goals so interesting, and the end of the series is so well done, I won't spoil it, you'll just have to watch it. Recommend it for more mature audiences. Number 7, Gankutsuou, The Count of Monte Cristo. This one is really here for two reasons. Firstly, The Count of Monte Cristo is one of my favorite stories from classic literature. In fact, the film from the 2000s is one of my favorite movies of all time, by the way, so naturally this would automatically pique my interest. Secondly, this anime actually adapts the material in a way that is very different from the source material, but just as good. That's not common for most adaptations, let alone between cultures and mediums. This follows the tragedy of the Count and his plan by showing him as a villain, but perhaps one of the most sympathetic villains ever portrayed. Add a good mystery, sci-fi elements, and some of the most beautiful animation and excellent voice acting. I was just completely sucked in. This series is worth every frame. Number 6, Yu Yu Hakusho. Funny story, of all the series on my list, this is actually the one I watched most recently. I had seen a few episodes a couple years ago, but even that was well past the original airing in the US. Ironically, it was actually after watching Hunter x Hunter and learning it was made by the creator of that series that I gave Hakusho a go. In terms of action/martial arts series, this one runs with that formula, but with great characters and complex dark themes. It's more simplistic of a template than Hunter x Hunter, but that's why it works better. The balance between the heroes is perfect. The story arcs are all fun and different, the development of each character and their backstories are paced excellently. The villains are some of the best in anime, and the fights are just so engaging. There's really nothing bad I can say about this series, except that it's kind of basic and doesn't expand on some world-building aspects. Still, everything that works well, and I can understand its place as a classic. You ready, guys? Time for my top 5. Alright, number 5, Basilisk. This is about as straightforward as you can get. It's Romeo and Juliet meets Naruto, but R-rated. This series is rather simple in terms of story, but excels in just about every other area. The animation is great, the characters are all unique and memorable, and the action is glorious. The ninja powers are awesome to behold, and it is a truly bloody affair. Maybe this one is a guilty pleasure, but I just love it so much. When each of the characters dies, yes, spoilers, many of them do die, I feel bad for most of them. I want these ninja clans to make peace as much as I want them to fight each other. That's some real conflict there. Plus, the villain, Tenzen, is simply one of the most evil guys in fiction. What can I say? Great villains work for me. Number 4, Berserk. Speaking of great villains, and great heroes for that matter, Berserk is truly unique in that it's the only series on this list that made me depressed for a whole day after completing it. I won't spoil anything, but this medieval tale of destiny and betrayal is one of the darkest pieces of fantasy out there. Still, It's really good. The dynamic between the warrior Guts and his friend, the mercenary turned nobleman Griffith, is one of the best in anime. Even though the series only covers the first major arc of the comic, it still works as a contained story. Really, if you disregard the first episode and the last scene of the series, it's just one bleak tale. The very fact that those scenes are in there detracts from the series and prevents it from making it higher on the list. Still, a great show that truly impacted me. Number 3, Samurai 7. If any series on this list is truly perfect in terms of writing, animation, pacing, characterization, and thematics, it's probably this one. Adapted from the classic samurai film, but with a sci-fi mecha edge, this series follows the plot of the film relatively closely, a group of quirky samurai saving a village of farmers from bandits. Except, in this version, the bandits here are a giant cyborg mecha, and the samurai can cut through them with super sharp blades. Isn't anime great? In all seriousness though, the series not only adapts the film well, but actually expands on the story and its themes in the second half, tracking the root of the problem to a corrupt government. The characters are all great, and the action is truly spectacular. I've actually considered the series for the number 1 spot before, but there are 2 other series I love just a bit more. Well, these 2 are in a league of their own for me, really. Number 2, Dragon Ball. This one seems to have wrestled with my favorite for the longest time. It's really very interchangeable. I would say this is nostalgia talking, but not really. I only watched Z growing up, and only discovered the early days of Goku's life later on. This led me to watching the movies, Dragon Ball Z Kai, and getting back into anime after a year or 2 of my waning interest. Really, getting back into DBZ, and ultimately discovering the rest of the franchise, led me to watch many more series and eventually making videos on YouTube. What else is there to say? Dragon Ball is one of the most unique action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi anime out there. It was highly influential on many series, and it was one of the reasons myself and many other Westerners were introduced into anime in the first place, and it still has one of the most enduring fan bases today. It has an awesome world, great characters, and some of the most iconic villains and most epic fights in all of anime. I love it so much, and I'm doing a whole video on it in the near future. This series is fantastic, and it's easily my second favorite, and sometimes tied with my all-time favorite. Number 1. Some of you probably could guess this. Full Metal Alchemist / Brotherhood. For those of you who are wondering, my top spot is sort of a tie, since you can't really watch one series without the other. They are basically companion pieces. If I had to knock one off, it would probably be Brotherhood, since I think the first series develops the main characters and themes so much better, and it has much more of an emotional impact. Plus, it was my first major foray into anime. If I put nostalgia aside, I will admit I've never been a big fan of the ending, making Brotherhood technically a better written story, but it skips over crucial moments in the first series due to expanding on them earlier. Essentially, the series are meant to be experienced together. I love both versions so much. I probably would have put Brotherhood in the top 10 somewhere, but I didn't want to sacrifice any other series. FMA in general is great, a truly unique concept, a wide variety of fantastic characters, the most interesting type of superpower in anime, alchemy, my favorite villains, the homunculi, a fascinating plot, and many complex themes on a variety of topics. It balances humor and drama while still keeping a human tone that makes it easier to absorb than most other anime. It's fantastical without being over the top. It also has some incredible protagonists in Edward and Alphonse in their journey to undo the mistakes they made while learning about the world and themselves and helping others along the way. Full Metal Alchemist is my favorite anime series of all time. Well guys, that was my top 20 favorite series. Let me know some of your favorite series. Did I mention any of yours? Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Alright guys, been a pleasure. Merlin out. Peace.